This is Speakeasy with Cheesemondo on RPO Radio, broadcasting real people's opinions.
And you are listening to RPO Radio. This is Cheesemondo, and indeed this is Speakeasy. And I can see all the lights appear to be working, which is a first. Nobody on the lines just yet, but I've been assured that some people are going to call in. Let's just see who's in the old side chat while we hang about. And I can see Chris Durham and Seek Truth, Speak Truth. Hey both. If anyone else is inside chat, make yourselves known and I'll say hello. Seek Truth, great debate earlier. It's just a shame that Spurs just won't listen to sense. It's just painful hearing the dancing around and the excuses given from that man is incredible. I couldn't debate him. Just because of the way he is, but well done. It was a great debate. I think that was your first one, wasn't it? That was your first debate. Yeah, I Spurs won't listen to anything. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Unless you've measured it yourself, unless you've measured it yourself, he's got no interest in anything you've got to say, which is really, really sad. Second ever debate, nice work. It was well done. It was good work. I'm not gonna get into debating people. If it is your first time here, this is a paranormal, supernatural, conspiracy phone-in show. This isn't a debate or a debunking show. I genuinely want to hear what you've got to say. And everyone in the side chat is more than likely going to be a friend. They might ask the occasional question. I might ask the occasional question. I'm not convinced by everything I hear, but that's, if you were, then that's how you get yourself into trouble. A little bit of skepticism goes a long way. And while I wait for everything to catch up, I have had some ideas from some great friends of the show. So Boomer, if you're out there, thank you very much. Boomer suggested that I dedicate a section to urban myths. Incidentally, the Bunker is doing a show on urban myths. I don't know what time. It's about midday for me tomorrow, 2 p.m. for me. But check out Bunker 33 if you've got an interest in urban myths. That'll be Boomer and Ardwin. And then Colon has suggested I do a weekly paranormal news section, which is a great idea as well. I just need to come up with some graphics for that, just to make it a bit more interesting. But yes, thank you, Colon, for that idea as well, and you'll be seeing those coming up soon. C-True says, I actually did think I was abducted by aliens for a while when I was younger, but I also once believed the Earth was flat, so don't trust my judgment. What prompted that, Seek Truth? What was that? Just you saw something on TV and it resonated and you dreamt about it, or did you? How roughly how old were you? Don't give too much away, obviously, but are we talking like teen or younger? And what form did that take? Because that type of thing really interests me. And in the meantime, I can't see anyone else in side chat, so I guess things are still warming up. As always, this show only picks up as soon as I say I'm gonna stop. Everyone starts getting interested. So what I might start doing is let the intro run and then tell you all I'm going to stop, and then things will get quite exciting. Well, that's the plan anyway. I'm expecting one person at least to call in. They may or may not, but we'll see what happens. And
did you hear?
Oh, I think that's an old alert, but thank you, Nicholas, for subscribing. That's awesome. Thank you very much. That's Betty Grable on the wall there, singing for us. That's my new alert. That's going to be cool. There was a lightning storm out. So Seek Truth says there was a lightning storm outside when I was 14, and it kind of gave me what I felt like was a jolt, and then I woke up in the morning. Ooh, that's weird. Although, lightning is a funny thing when you're young, because I put that to getting abducted at the time. It can mess with your head. I was going to my family were all Catholic when I was growing up. I was going to church one day. We used to go religiously every Sunday morning. I was an altar server and everything. I'd bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. But there was one day where there was lightning. As we were leaving the house, there was a bolt of lightning in the sky, and that terrified me, and I refused to leave. And I think that might have even been the last time I went to church as an altar server. So I think it was lightning in the sky that put me off religion when I was a child. It was shortly after I was confirmed. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore, and I refused to go. It was weird. Don't know. It's weird how things can mess around with your mind. There have been I've seen a few comments. Also thank you to Johnny O for the promo that he put out for me. There have been a few people commenting that they're not really sure why I'm doing this show, and some people weren't really happy about it. But the short version is, I got tired of debating, or I got tired of talking about flat Earth and things like that. Because there's lots of people doing it, and then you've got Karens and Sovsits, and there's bigger channels, and I figured I was never going to be as big as Simon Dan or Creaky or Mr. Sensible, because they all do it better. They were all doing it better than me, so I decided to do something I was quite interested in, and one of the things I am really interested in is other people's experiences in the world, because there are a lot of interesting people out there, and a lot of people have had things happen to them that they can't quite explain. And whether or not you buy into it being supernatural or paranormal or otherworldly, aliens, whatever, sometimes there are just things that we can't explain, and that's really what I'm interested in. And we've had some great calls in from people that are natural-born skeptics, let's say that. The most skeptical of the skeptics, and even they've had unexplained things happen to them, and that's what I'm kind of interested in, is when people have these unexpected things, and even when they try and debunk themselves, they can't necessarily do it, and that's really what the show is all about. And I need to get a drink. So I was lifting some alcohol into the speakeasy earlier today, and I've managed to pull all the muscles in. I don't know how. It's just getting old, I guess. Managed to pull all the muscles in my chest. But I can see who else is in the side chat. I can see Vishanti. Hello, Vishanti. And Seek Truth says it'll take some time. It's difficult because your core base is around FE. Maybe as you are so new, start a new channel. Just an outside thought, bud. I have thought about a new channel. But that comes with its own risks. I've been putting clips up. I've got a few channels that not many people know about, but I've been putting clips up onto a different channel, and I can't get the algorithm to take notice of it, no matter how hard I try. So I might eventually move this out to a separate channel. But I had a few issues with the channel recently. It's been kind of interesting. somebody started reporting videos for medical misinformation and things like that, or just because they didn't like me. It's more than likely because they didn't like me. Various things have happened. If we've spoken on Discord outside of shows and things, then you know roughly what's been going on. But the short version is somebody was hitting my channel with some kind of bot that was watching all of my videos for 13 seconds, which did work wonders for my stats, as you can imagine. Nothing worse than watching a video for 13 seconds, but doing it over and over and over and over and over. So I reported that to YouTube, but as usual, because I'm under 1,000 subs, then they're not rushing to get to it. I'm sure they will eventually, but let's see what happens. So I've still got plenty of space on the lines. Vishanti is riding the bus home. Excellent. Yes, that is true. Seek truth. It is difficult to change direction on a channel, and I've seen that a few times. But let's see what happens today. So I do have a few people that are going to call in. Oh, there's 2 people calling in. So I've got somebody from. I've got no names yet. Oh goodness. 2 people calling in. It'll be whoever drops first. Whoever drops first through the call screening, I am going to pick up. One person dropped. So if you are trying to get in, you do have to speak to the robot. That is just to make sure that you've got audio. It is to make sure that you got audio. So, ooh, this one could be cool. Just give me 2 seconds to get with you, caller. This is likely to be superb. Okay. First call of the day. Let me just get this right. And this should be Patch. How are you there?
Howdy, nice to be here.
Hey, excellent. How are you doing?
Fantastic. You can thank Vishanti for having me here. She and I are long-term friends.
Excellent.
And for your listeners, I think I know the secret of the Georgia Guidestones, which are a strange little monument in northeast Georgia. The state, not the country.
And just for anyone who doesn't know what they are, when you say strange little things, just describe them for us.
So, essentially, it's a Stonehenge-style structure in the mountains of northeast Georgia. It's more or less what you would expect from that, a bunch of granite that is inscribed with rules for how the person who made the monument thinks life should be lived, that are inscribed in, I believe, 8 different modern languages and 4 ancient languages. And there's some explanatory plants and other things located around the monument itself that give you a little clue as to what might be actually going on with it.
Okay, and what do you think is going on?
So, long story short, I believe that the person behind this is a Rosicrucian, a Freemason, potentially a member of the Skull and Bone Society, and most likely a member of an old Confederate conspiracy called the Knights of the Golden Circle.
Now, I've heard of most of those.
So we've got a lot of different.
What's the Knights of the Golden Circle? Before we get too deep down this rabbit hole, what's the Knights of the Golden Circle? Because that's a new one on me.
Certainly, understanding those is the key to understanding the whole thing.
Okay.
I was first exposed to them in Brad Meltzer's book, History Decoded, if you're familiar with Brad Meltzer. he had a television show on the History Channel here in the U.S. Exploring various historic conspiracies, like the conspiracy around the assassination of President Lincoln and things like that. The Knights of the Golden Circle are a group that is supposed to have hidden a bunch of the old treasury from the Confederate States of America, and through some cryptography and some sort of hidden in plain sight messages, have passed down the location of all of that silver to their descendants.
Oh, right. Okay.
One of the things that they use, or that they are alleged to use in their messages, are misspellings and cardinal directions. And those two things are where kind of what got me started thinking about this. The last time that I visited the monument, took a very close look at it, and there's this explanatory slab that is to the north of the monument itself, and there is one word that is misspelled on that slab, and it has an extraneous E. Now, on the east side of the monument itself, I mentioned that there are some rules that the creator of the monument thinks that life should be lived by. The easternmost one is written in English, and that one is unique because it's the only one that is also missing letters. The side of that part of the monument is sort of chipped or worn away, so that there are a few letters missing out of those. Knowing that these guys were interested in using missing letters and cardinal directions, that E on the explanatory tablet pointing me towards the east side of the monument itself, that piqued my interest. The gentleman who made the monument did so under a pseudonym, and specifically the pseudonym R.C. Christensen, which sort of pushed me in a Rosicrucian direction. R.C. Christensen, Rosicrucian. The monument, if viewed from above, looks like the Rosy Cross symbol that the Rosicrucians are so fond of using. And, of course, the fact that this is all done in stonework, it's all done in granite, makes me believe that stonework, you have to assume the Masons are involved in some way. There's also a lot of historical overlap between believers in Rosicrucianism and membership in the Freemason Society. So the two of them kind of come in there together. The Skull and Bone Society, the only date that is on the explanatory tablet is March 22nd, rendered the way that Americans render dates as 3/22. We put the month before the day. And 3/22, anyone who's familiar with the Skull and Bone Society knows that that's a sacred number to that secret society based out of Yale University.
Yep.
And so there's just a lot of things going on together with this weird little monument in the middle of nowhere.
So, what if there was a secret to it? What would that secret be?
Well, one of the other interesting things about the explanatory tablet is that it gives a date that a time capsule was buried beneath the monument, or beneath the explanatory tablet, and a date that should be unearthed. And both of those dates are left blank. And so this is pure and wild speculation here, but I wish I had my notes in front of me, and I may call back in at a later date with when I have those in front of me. But there is a high-ranking Confederate officer who was involved in moving this silver, which did go missing, from the Confederate treasury. For some of your listeners who may not be familiar with the Civil War in the United States, it went very poorly for the Confederacy, thankfully. And as that started going poorly, they decided to move their treasury out of Virginia further down into Georgia, where they thought it would be better protected. It was not. But a great deal of silver went missing, like 2 train cars worth. And this is supposed to be this missing silver. It's my belief that some event will trigger when this time capsule is supposed to be unearthed, And I think the time capsule, if it exists, would have something to do with this missing silver. Either it would contain some of the silver itself, or through a series of clues, starting with the missing letters on the monument, might point someone in the know onto how to find that silver, in theory, so that the South could rise again, not that it ever will.
So you think an event is going to trigger this, and then somebody's going to find the people in the know will know to look for a large amount of silver, which I guess, given the current price of silver, is going to be worth a significant amount of money.
That would be my speculation. There's some side stuff of the company that made the monument itself, the Elberton Granite Company. They are local to where this monument is located, and they have in their lobby a statue of a Confederate soldier that used to be standing about a mile or so from where the monument itself stands. And these Knights of the Golden Circle were also known to use statues in their... It's apparently supposed to be a whole scavenger hunt, essentially. Of you start with one clue and it leads you to the next clue, which leads you on to the next until you reach whatever you're finding, hidden silver or what have you. And so I'm somewhat convinced that the missing letters on the English portion of the Georgia Guidestones monument tie in with that statue somehow. I think perhaps the granite company may have been in on it, or maybe not. Maybe they're just big fans of the Confederacy. I don't know. But I do think that the missing letters are significant.
And you said an event. Sorry, you said an event would trigger it. What kind of, if you had to speculate, what type of event might that be? Are we talking like a disaster, or some kind of disclosure, or what do you think that might be?
I think possibly something much smaller than that. The gentleman who commissioned this is known only by this pseudonym, other than to the lawyer that he went through to get all of this done. And that lawyer is still alive. I think maybe in the event of the lawyer's death, something might be unveiled, or maybe it is something larger. Not being in this circle of people who would know what to look for, I can only speculate from the outside.
Okay, that's fair. That would be interesting if that happened. Certainly,
now,
it would be worth a lot.
Had you heard of these Guidestones before me calling in?
Yes, I have. Yeah, yes.
So, for any of your listeners who are not aware, one of the more ominous things on these monuments is a directive to keep the world population under 500 million people, which would obviously involve some kind of great calamity at this point. And so the whole thing just feels rather ominous.
That is kind of creepy. That humanity clause is humanity rule is a little bit weird, yeah. Although the whole, I've got the inscriptions in front of me. The whole thing just reads like quite bad. If you take it as a whole, it's just
there's certainly some good in there. Avoid petty laws and useless officials, I believe, is one.
There is,
and notably, there's only one that's repeated. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
Which, yes.
And so the whole thing has a kind of eco-fascist vibe of we need to kill off the majority of humanity in order to achieve balance with nature.
Yes, that's what I was getting at, because the first one is maintain humanity under what is it, 500? How many? 500 billion? 500 million? something like that.
500 million.
500 million. And then guide reproduction while wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a new
Some
language.
scary eugenics stuff there.
Yeah. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. That seems mostly sensible. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. If only. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. That's an interesting one. And then be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature, leave room for nature.
That be not a cancer on the earth is such interesting phrasing because, again, it's sort of implying that humanity has grown to the point where we're damaging our host organism, the earth itself. And it's hard to argue that when you look at certain things that are going on in terms of climate change. But I don't know that killing off like 80% of the world's population is the best place to start with that.
I've heard the Georgia Stones linked to other conspiracies, and I've heard them linked to Agenda 21 and population control and Bill Gates and the Rothschilds and all the usual names start propping up. But I've never heard them linked to the Golden Circle. That's the first time, and certainly never to a lot of silver.
So far as I know, I am the first person to propose that link.
That's interesting because I've never heard of it, but that gives it a slightly different angle to the usual conspiracy stuff with population control and a new world order and that type of thing.
Yeah, it's a curious angle, and even if I'm wrong about that, even if these Knights of the Golden Circle are involved in no way, I did misspeak earlier. The extraneous letter on the monument is not an E, it is an N. The English side is on the north side. I just got confused for a moment. It is specifically in the word pseudonym. If you look at the text of that plinth, it says that R.C. Christensen, a pseudonym. And it just seems significant that there is this misspelling in a word that is telling you there is something hidden here, that an identity is hidden. The whole thing reeks to me of there's an extra layer to this weird forgotten monument in the middle of nowhere. And when I say the middle of nowhere, I mean you can't see, there are no lights on the horizon. You get a great view of the night sky. I've been there in the middle of the night. It's a gorgeous view, but there's just something quite eerie about the whole thing.
It's one of the places. It's one of the places I do intend going. The Georgia Guidestones is on my list of things to see. I
highly recommend it if you're ever in the southeastern United States.
I quite like the idea that there is a secret stash of silver somewhere, and the Georgia Guidestones are some kind of secret map or marker that you start. It's got that kind of interesting feel about it. I quite like it. I like that.
If that's not the case, and I have speculated, like, surely I'm not the person who's looked into this the most. Surely if this connection were there, someone might have stumbled on it before. And so the missing dates for the beginning and end of a time capsule, again, seem significant to me, because you don't put a monument up unfinished. And so let's say it is just linked to this sort of Agenda 21 population control type thing. I'm thinking in that case, the time capsule might be something far more mundane. A seed vault, some kind of instructions to restart life on a large scale after a great calamity.
That one of the things I have heard is that the the secret to population control is underneath it. And whether that's some kind of I can't remember who it was saying this. The name eludes me right now. It was either some kind of biological component, or there's some kind of mechanism underneath that almost like a secret button, I think it was described as, that would start the population control. But then when I asked the guy who was telling me about it, when I said how would it discriminate between the people that should be killed and the New World Order or the Illuminati, there wasn't really an answer for that other than it's probably some kind of genetic thing. But yeah,
that's why I'm always wary of biological agents of population control, because biological agents are fairly indiscriminate.
That one didn't quite hold up to scrutiny, but the idea that there's something under there that needs to be dug up and triggered, or some kind of button that needs to be pressed. I've heard that one before, but I quite like the idea of a huge stash of silver somewhere.
I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. Like, one of the things I'm hoping to do over the course of the next year is take about a week off, travel up to Elberton, and examine the statue that the Elberton Granite Company has. I want to find out its original location. And essentially, I want to see if I can deduce anything further other than me just speculating.
That would be cool. If you get out there and you do find something interesting, I would love to hear an update on the thing, especially because I might be a target of population control. If I am, I want to be able to do something about it. Yeah,
it seems like the thing where forewarned is forearmed.
Yeah. Oh, that's superb. It's got that. It's got that. I forget the movie. There's a Nicolas Cage movie. It's like. It could be actually. There's a number of movies that have got similar plots where you have to go around and find the clues in plain sight.
National Treasure, where he steals the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, and it's got that kind of Da Vinci Code feel about it, and I like that. That's my kind of mystery. Yeah, that seems really cool. Although the link to Agenda 21 is quite disturbing, and it's not the first time I've heard that. But
Hopefully someone will find out what it's used for, and we don't find out after it's used for that, if that's the case.
Yeah, it would be.
If you visit there and you see a big red button, do not push it.
Do not push, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I am going to have to get out there because I would like to see it myself. It's nice. It's nice hearing the different ideas and theories and things, but I'd like to be able to go out and touch it and look at it. And a question just popped into my head: the deliberately misspelled words. So are the panels all in different languages? You said they are, aren't they?
Yes.
Are the misspelled...
Each of the panels, there are 4 supporting stones, and on each side of the stone there is a different language that is used today. I can't recall what all of them are, but it has very much, if you're familiar with the United States' attempt to figure out how we would communicate over the years that an area was polluted with toxic waste, like nuclear waste. There was a study a while back of this stuff potentially stays dangerous for 30,000 years. How do we communicate to someone 30,000 years in the future? Don't come here, it will harm you. And this monument has that same sort of feeling to me because of all of those different languages that are used, as if saying, we cannot expect what language the people in this area will be using in the future. And this information may be useful to them at a point where English is no longer the commonly spoken language around here. One of the languages that's used there is the native language of the Native American peoples that are from that area. I know Chinese is there, a couple different of the Romance languages. And on the structure on the top, there's this sort of box-like structure that these 4 columns are supporting. That has 4 ancient languages. I know there's hieroglyphics, and I can't recall what the others are. But this is a message not to the people of Elberton, Georgia, but to the people of the world, which seems odd for something that's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. What would be interesting is to know, and you probably don't know the answer, and I'm not sure anyone has thought about this, but if that misspelling was translated into the other languages.
That misspelling is only present on this explanatory slab, and so it's only in English, which again leads me to believe that English is the language that has the hidden message in it.
Okay. That makes it kind of interesting then. That means, I guess they're banking on whatever language is spoken in the future to be English, but also with a guide for other languages just in case. So
I would think maybe we have 2 things going on here. Maybe this message of population control and eugenics and a globalization in terms of, an international court that we go to instead of fighting wars, which, hey, if only. But I think all of that is a message for the people of the world, and this hidden message of here's how you find this silver or doomsday device or what have you, that's just for the people in the know, and they assume that the people in the know would speak English.
That's okay. That's, I guess. So I wonder, is the single language of the future going to be English, or are they betting on it being one of the other languages on the tablets on the monument?
This was placed in the early 1980s, and at that time, Esperanto kind of had an international movement, and so maybe they were banking on Esperanto, or maybe they were expecting maybe English to become the dominant language of the world, which it is sort of the lingua franca of our time, but the rest of the message is there for everyone.
Awesome. I think I'll have to try and get out there this year. Now, well, I haven't really been anywhere exciting in the past year for obvious reasons. But now, now I've had vaccinations and things like that. I might have to get back out and look at some of these things. I was most recently there last August. Taking a very secluded hiking trip to celebrate my birthday. So I was able to remain socially distant and safe while trying to figure out one of the great mysteries of my old home state. Awesome. Well, thank you, Patch. Is there anything else you want to share with us? Anything you want to tell us? Anything you think we need to know?
That if I get any further information, I will be glad to call back in. And as a special little message to the shanty, you know what I'm going to say. And I think I'll listen to the rest of your show now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patch. And feel free to call back anytime. This has been a really great call. Really, really interesting. And it's made me think a lot. So it's also prompted me to get out there and have a look. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Okie doke. I've lost my computer. Oh, my computer's messing me up. Awesome. Thank you so much, Patch. Call software's done something a little bit odd. Hello to Vishanti, Tony Regime. Hello there. Who else is in inside chat? I saw Boomer in there as well. Dick Dawson. Hello. Nicholas, recent subscriber. Hello. What are we doing? The software is doing something a little bit weird, so I'm going to ignore it for a second and pretend I can't see it. That was awesome. See, that's not the first time I've heard about the Georgia Guidestones. I want to say Georgia Guidestones. Let's take that down. Put me back up. There we go. It is on my list of things to go and see. I do want to go and see that. I also want to canoe down the Grand Canyon, or at least the parts of it that you can canoe down. Because that would be cool, and there's parts of that people haven't set foot on in a long time, and not that I want to set foot on it, I just want to see some of these places. Some of the places you can only get to from the river, and I like the idea of that. There's caves and all kinds down there. Boomer is in side chat. He says, something from nothing, urban myths, NASA Bunker 33, 8 p.m. UTC Wednesday. That's the urban myths that I was talking about, and it was Boomer's idea to include urban myths as part of this show. Somebody did call in, and the call software didn't let them join the show, and I think it's because they either had mic issues or they didn't talk to the robot. So if you are going to call in, you do need to talk to the robot, because it checks that we can hear you is all that it's doing. And it's also your chance to tell me what you want to be called on the show, so I'm not calling you something I shouldn't. So if you did try and call in, give it another go, please, because I do want to hear from people. 12 of you watching, 10 likes. This is good fun. I'm roasting today. It's quite hot in Colorado at the moment. And I've had to turn off the aircon to do this, and I'm sat in a woolen jacket and a shirt and tie, and it's roasting. So suffering for the show. What is going on in the side chat? Has anyone had anything weird or wonderful happen to them recently? Anything I need to know about? Anything I've missed? If you want to shill something out, roast cheese sounds messy. Yeah, it's not a pleasant sight. Sweaty cheese. The movie you mentioned with Nick Cage is Knowing. That was it. Knowing. Thank you, Vishanti. Yes. That was. Oh, I tell you what. That was pretty cool. Lost some of my buttons. So, how are Venus, Mars, Crescent Moon yesterday? I saw it. I got an alert on the device yesterday for that conjunction thingy. I love the precision with there was something with Venus, Mars, and Crescent Moon, and conjunction thingy. I did see an alert for that, but it wasn't a particularly clear night last night. I am going to try it. Sorry, my nose is itching. Vishanti says, I was also going to try and prompt another story from Patch, but you didn't read me yelling in the side chat here. I'm sorry. I was trying to, but then I got sidetracked looking at Georgia Guidestones stuff on Tinterweb. On Tinterweb. I got clouds. It looked like a face. I must try and give that a go. I wonder if it'll look the same for me. I don't know if I'm the right end. If it looks like a face for you, then I'm not sure it'll look like a face for me. I guess it would be an upside down face. If I stood on my head, it might work. So I've got some. I'm going to give about 50 minutes on the end of the show. That normally prompts people to call in, but 50 minutes on the show. I want to finish at the hour because there's other things happening later. Is there anything I've forgotten? There was something else I was going to do. Vishanti, it's not supernatural or weird in any way, but it is a very cool tale. Someday we'll share it. I would like see. It doesn't have to be supernatural or paranormal. If you want to call in and tell me something that was just cool, or that you experienced and you're not quite sure what it was, I'm cool with that. We all want to know. We all want to know that sort of thing. That's what this show's about. Let me just. Oh, well, that's great. Try and do a show.
Psst.
End up in a.
Hey, Cheese. Cheese. You're live.
Oh, you can still hear me. Oh, awesome. Okay. Think we're back. Think we're back. Okay. That should be work. Okay, good. That was it's a cheeky power cut there. It's all good now. You never know if it's the feds or what's going on. You could have left the lights off. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I got to jump with the Dapper Dino's thing, but this is a great show, Cheese Mondo. Thank you, Vishanti. What is Dapper Dino doing, and should we all be going there? And if somebody wants to throw a link to that in, I like a bit of Dapper Dino as much as the next man. Then somebody send me somebody throw a link inside chat, and we'll all go there after we're done here. I guess that's starting fairly soon. His weekly commentary on Kent Hovind. Oh goodness! I also love a little bit of Kent Hovind. I've also just realised that triskaidekaphobia has kicked in, and we're on show 13, and it's the 13th today. I'm just lucky it's not Friday, or there would be trouble, wouldn't there? I started at the same time as Dapper Dino. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. So Dapper Dino is live at the moment. It's not often I clash with people. Normally I'm stomping all over them at the end of my show, which is why I try and finish on time. But we'll see. So, before I start wrapping up, is there anything anyone wants to tell me? Anything I need to know? Anything we need to chill out? And I don't think I have. My next show is Thursday. It's going to be 2 p.m. for me, 9 p.m. UK time, so it's 2 p.m. Mountain. I still can't do Pacific and Eastern in my head, but it's like an hour or so either way from 2, and then it'd be 9 p.m. British Standard. I think that's 10 p.m. UTC. So that should be a nice one. I normally get a good crowd for that from Europe and Britain. Other than that, I don't think I've got anything else to say. So I am gonna say, Forgotten Shadows. Hello. I was gonna say I'm gonna get the hell out of here, but Forgotten Shadows. I need more clocks, maybe. Yes. I'm maybe down the wall there somewhere. Ruin the effect there by pointing too far. Sorry I missed the entirety of the stream. That's okay. Go back and watch it from the start, Forgotten Shadows. There was a great call from Patch about the Georgia Guidestones. And hopefully Patch calls in again at some point, especially if we find out more information about the Georgia Guidestones. I am going to say thank you all for watching, and I'm going to get the hell out of here. So check me out on Thursday. Go check out Dapper Dino in the this is the part of the problem, right? I spent the last few hours on Twitch. If you had been there, then maybe I tried streaming to Twitch. It wasn't seamless. I do have a few issues to figure out, but I will be there at some point, and I will be doing a dual stream to Twitch. Go check out the NASA Bunker 33, and also. Being as Dick Dawson and STSD are here, if you go back, if you didn't see STSD's debate with Spurs earlier, go watch it on the shills. It was good. STSD did really well. Other than that, folks, I'm out of here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to everyone in the side chat. Thank you to anyone watching us and catch up. Love you all. See you soon. Goodbye.